Hi, friends. Welcome back to
Wish You Love Podcast.
I'm Jazmine.
And I'm Marilyn.
And happy Halloween!
Woo!
We hope you guys are excited and doing fun things. We acknowledge it is tomorrow, but we're celebrating early here at Wish You Love Pod.
Yes. And what are you, Jazmine?
I am a ice cream mini thing.
It's a Mickey Mouse ice cream. You know the bars you can get at the cart? Yeah. She told me. I'm reminding her. It's cute. Everyone loves a good Mickey Mouse ice cream.
Yeah, and it matches with my shirt.
It matches the shirt. It's super cute.
Yeah.
I love it.
What about you, Marilyn?
And I am Padme Amidala, Queen Amidala, Senator, whatever else you'd want to call me. But yeah, from Star Wars. So if you don't know, because many people ask me at Oogie Boogie, not like regular people, but like people in our group that don't know Star Wars are like, who is she? She's Anakin's wife. And if you don't know who Anakin is, she is Leia and Luke's mother. So yeah. So I'm wearing her outfit from episode 2 when her and Anakin go to Naboo.
Yes. And if you are watching this on YouTube, and if you're not, feel free to head on over to YouTube. Yeah, you'll be able to see our costumes in video. Fun fact, this is actually Marilyn's like
Halloween costume. Yeah.
Mine's more just like a spin-off for today's episode.
For the episode, exactly.
Yes, but if you guys watched last episode, I was Remy this year.
Yes. And we'll post it on our Instagram.
We'll post
on Halloween. We'll post it.
Yes.
For a happy Halloween post.
Oh. Well, I love it. I hope you guys have had a fun-filled October, have enjoyed all things spooky or fall, whatever your vibe is.
Right.
And are ready to jump into today's episode. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you haven't already, make sure you follow us on Instagram at Wish You Love Pod. We also have TikTok and just be part of the community.
So as you know, we do all things in love here at this podcast. So in today's icebreaker, we're going to be wishing love to somebody, dedicating our love to somebody in this episode. And so whoever we say, we wish them the most love. And we are just so appreciative of everybody in our lives, but particularly honoring this one person for this episode. And so I will start off and comment down below a person, or actually better, send this video to the person that you wish love to the most this month. Okay. So first, and if you're listening, the person that sent you this loves you and wants you to have a great day, I'm sure. But so my person is my friend, Kimberly. I've been chatting with her on the phone, and she's just one of those people where I had a dream with her the other night, actually. And I can't tell you what the dream was about, but we were just laughing. We were like, like talking and like laughing. Like we were just... And that's just my subconscious of how I know our relationship. And I love it. I love during the week, it's so stressful. And I love having my friends beside me and just making life sweet, just like your costume, like nice ice cream, a nice treat in the end of the day. And so I love you so much, Kimberly. I love how much our friendship has flourished in such a short period of time. And that's weird. I didn't even touch it.
I didn't either.
What the fuck
What was that noise?
I don't know. That's creepy. That's weird. I have no idea.
It is a spooky episode, so...
What the heck? I don't know if you've heard that, but it was a big doing, and we weren't touching anything. That's creepy. Halloween-y, guys, I guess. But anyways, I won't edit that out because I guess it is spooky. That is really weird. But yeah, so I just really love you, Kimberly, and I appreciate all my friendships, and especially you. I'm highlighting you for this month of just like when I needed somebody, you were there. Even in my dreams, like you were just there to make me laugh and just be a good friend to me. And she's just one of those friends, like she doesn't have many friends, but the friends that she does have, she's such a light in their lives. And so it's like quantity over quality over quantity definitely is her vibe, and I get it. I wouldn't share myself if I were her either. You know, she's just really kind and very different from me and super silly, but I like it. She puts me in my place a lot of times. She'll be like, Marilyn, that's a first world problem. Like, let's get real. Like, I like how she is with me, of just keeping me humble, giving me advice, and just being there for me. So that's a good friend right there.
I love that. I hope, Kimberly, if you're listening, I hope you feel loved and that this makes your day.
I hope she meets you one day. I really want her to meet all my friends because she's an amazing person.
Yeah. So I hope I meet you too. I hope you listen to this episode. I hope you feel loved, and I hope I meet you soon. Yeah. She's
one of those people that gives you like a side hug, even though she like knows you. I'm like, girl, give me a hug. Like, yeah.
Aww.
Yeah.
Okay, my turn. Who do I wish love to? Gosh, it's been a really busy October, so I'm really just trying to think of like who's. I guess. We always wish love to everyone, but I would say we do these every month, by the way. So it's always just highlighting someone who's, impacted you the most, I guess, this month. But I guess I will acknowledge and wish love to my trainers from my workout boot camp thing that I'm doing. I want to wish them love. Yeah, I feel like I've been getting closer to them. If you guys don't know, I've been on this like boot camp health and wellness journey for a while now, but officially going to this boot camp has been like about 2 months now. And I will say this month has been really special because kind of gotten to know them a little bit more, and they're kind of getting to know me a little bit more. And it's so silly because it's through minimal conversation. It's more just through like our workouts. Like as I'm working out, I have one of my coaches, his name's Cameron, like pushing me and like really like making me laugh, but also pushing me. And then I have another coach, her name's Coach Bev, which I've mentioned her before on this podcast when we talked about the room would be, if it was easy, the room would be full. And she's very just motivating and really there. And all in all, I think I just want to wish them love because I really have grown with them. And this journey has been really interesting. Not going into detail, but it hasn't been what I expected necessarily in terms of changes on the scale and whatnot. But I will say I do feel stronger, and I do feel like they're helping me not give up right away. And so it's still something I plan to do consistently and to be with, and that they're still kind of holding my hand throughout this journey as we navigate what's going on with my body and like what's happening. But yeah, I'll send them love. I definitely wish them love. Thank you guys. I don't think they'll listen to this because we don't even have each other on social media, but I'll still put it out there. Thanks for really pushing me to challenge myself. And when I want to grab the 10 pounds, you always, push me to grab the 12 or the 15. Thanks for not giving up on me and really just being kind and patient when I feel so frustrated and so helpless when I see like numbers on scales or whatnot. And thank you for just not giving up and just telling me that this is going to take time and they're willing to stay here with me if I'm willing to stay there with them. So I wish you guys love to the whole Fit Body Bootcamp instructors and community there.
That's great. I love that you chose them because I know that this has been for sure a journey for you. So of course, having teachers, people who guide you and coach you through this is important for you in your journey. So that's perfect people to wish love to.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so for this episode, we're kind of piggybacking off of last week's episode, which was pretty heavy if you haven't listened to it. It got very vulnerable, and actually, I got pretty vulnerable. But
we got vulnerable too.
Yeah,
off camera.
Off camera.
It was a good combo. I teared up type of moment.
We both teared up. Yeah, there was tears, smiles, and all that good stuff. So, but regardless, if you haven't listened to that episode, you should totally listen to it. But for this episode, it's kind of piggybacking off of that episode. And this episode is about nourishing your body with what it needs. And so I am going to give my body as an example, but of course, think about how this could resonate with you and think about where you can give your body, give your soul what it needs and acknowledge what you need. Okay. So for example, like obviously regular physical, like if you need to have tofu because you need protein, like give yourself the tofu, duh. But we're more so talking about like spiritual and all that stuff. So me and Anthony, we took this personality test called 16 personalities. I don't know if you've ever taken it, but we'll probably have her take it and we'll post our results soon. I don't know, this week or next week. Whenever we have a moment, we'll post it on our story and put the link so you can take this test yourself. But something that really stood out, and maybe we can do a whole episode on 16 personalities actually, because it is really interesting to dive deep into who you are and why you are the way you are and all that good stuff. But that could be a whole nother episode. But what it said, and I know, is that I am a very extroverted person. So I am very much a person that I thrive having a community. I thrive being around my friends, my people who make me feel good. I am a very social person, and anybody who knows me knows that. But I've been hearing a lot of discourse on Instagram about like how solitude is more important than being around people and how it's important to be by yourself and like learn to like love yourself where you don't need anybody. And although I agree to that stuff to an extent of like, it is good to be in solitude, to do self-care by yourself, to do things for yourself, to have so much love for yourself that you don't necessarily need somebody all the time. And although I agree to that to a certain point, I do think it also depends on you and like what kind of person you are. So acknowledging who you are. And so for me, I'm a very much a person who I need my people. I need my community. I need my tribe. I need people. I need to feel like I can love people and they can love me. Like, I'm not a person where I'm okay with being by myself. Like, I'm not okay with, like, when I had a quarantine for COVID, that was rough. Like, being by myself for like 2 weeks, that was rough for me. But maybe you might thrive because you re-energize yourself being alone. I'm not that type of person. I like being alone. I like doing things on my own, but I also love being around people. So I've been really busy with work as of late, and my schedule has been really, really intense. I will never do this to myself again. But pretty much, like, for example, I was telling her on Thursdays and Tuesdays, I work from 8:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. with only a 2-hour break, only 2 hours within that whole time. So I don't have time during the week to see a friend. And I'm very much alone. I live by myself. I work by myself because as a professor, we don't have coworkers. We don't see our boss. Like, it's very much a lonely life. And I realized that I was feeling very lonely. And I was like, dang, like at the time, I felt like I shouldn't feel like this. I should feel happy being alone. I should feel all these things. But then I talked to my friend Kimberly, who I wished love to, and I told her how I was feeling and I was tearing up. And this is what I touched on the last episode and telling her how I felt. And she had told me, Marilyn, but you're not that type of person. You thrive with people. You thrive being social. You thrive like having your best friend by your side. You thrive seeing your boyfriend. You thrive loving on your brothers. Like, that's just the type of person I am. So if I'm by myself, I'm not my best self. I'm my best self when I'm able to love others, when others are able to love me, like I had said. So she was pretty much telling me it's okay to need people. And to like also lean on her about like, call me, like tell me when you want to call and we'll make that a schedule and all that good stuff. So really what I was saying was like, acknowledge what your body needs, the nourishment it needs. And me, I felt like I needed my people. Communicate that, which is what we talked about in the last episode. And now nourish myself. Like, make sure I have that social aspect. Make sure that I make that phone call to a friend. Make sure that on the weekend I see somebody. I'm not just trapped by myself in my room. And so that's what I was pretty much wanting to share in this episode of like, what is something that you need that maybe you feel guilty about? But if you need it, then you need it, and that's okay. And of course, everything in a healthy dose. I'm not asking my friends to hang out with me every single day of the week. Like, hey, why aren't you at my house? Like, everything in a healthy dose, of course, but acknowledging as well what you need.
Well, thank you for sharing. Very interesting conversation to have and like to kind of meditate and reflect on. The way I'm going to answer what came to my mind, I guess, first was I was thinking about the test that you were talking about. Mm-hmm. And I just thought, dang, like, I think I've changed from when I was, from who I was 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. For sure, more than that. And I just thought, dang, like a cool component to see is like, I would love to take the test to see what my results would be and to see like what they are now as a 25-year-old where I'm at in life right now versus maybe like just thinking like, would that be the same Jazmine if she took the test like years ago? Because I was like just thinking about me. I was like, okay, like I was listening to you and I was like, okay, I wonder, first I thought that like how would the test what would it say now? And then my second thing was I've always thought I was extroverted, and I still do think I am extroverted because I am more of the social bird, and like as you guys know our story, like that's how we became friends. Like I just like went up to her and was like, we need to be friends type of thing. Mm-hmm. But I think also, I don't know if it's just like from where I'm at right now or because I'm growing up, but I feel like I'm, what is it, like extrovert, introvert, or introvert, extrovert? Like I think I'm a little bit of both now. And I think that's interesting just to reflect on and to see, okay, well, how can I balance both of those then for me? Because that's how I am as a person. Like, what can I do to fulfill both needs of still being social with others, but then still having like the time like with myself? I know like just this past week, it was really hard, but I don't see my fiance every single day. Of course, as we wedding plan and as this is kind of like the weird time where there's a lot of things like you have Thanksgiving, but it's coming up, but it's going to be like your Thanksgiving with your family, your Friendsgiving with your friends. I know we have one with our church. So it's going to be like a lot of like events happening where I see like my fiance more and we do things. And like, I know like this month in October particular was like all these like a Halloween party here, a Halloween party there, like his mom's birthday, his birthday, my grandma's birthday, like my uncle's birthday. Like it's just like a crazy season. But I know like I was really shocked because my fiance is like the one person I can spend every single day with and I wouldn't get bored, and like I enjoy his company, and I just love him. Like he's just like my absolute number one person. But I know like a week ago, like I said, I had to tell him like I don't really want to hang out today. Wow. And it was really hard for me because I didn't want him to feel like like I didn't love him or he wasn't good enough, or like I just didn't want to hang out with him because I don't want true. I don't know. Like it was hard for me to explain to him like I just really just want to go home and shower and sleep. Like I just don't want to like hang out with anyone. Like I just want to be in my own element, in my own bubble. And I think about that right now because like you said, like I needed that. Like I just really needed that. I did not want to talk to anyone. I did not want to hang out with anyone. I just wanted to be by myself. And it's what I needed. And also like how interesting, because I'm an extrovert, so you would think the opposite. Like I want to see people all the time. But yeah, I think now it's like I'm really curious just to basically see like where I'm at now. And I truly do think I have changed into being more of a extrovert, introvert, where there are times where my schedule is just too compact, where I just sometimes just don't have the energy. Not even with like him, and I love him and I always want to be with him, but it's tough. Mm-hmm. So that's really interesting. And then my third point to this is, as always, I think this is a good time to, just really reflect and break it up into mind, body, and soul, and think of like what happiness looks like in each category. And you're right. What does that look like, and how can I fulfill it? Right. And I think also fulfill it to be content and not fulfill it to be overfilled. Right. I think that's important too. Right. For sure. Like, even with like food, I know we talked about this at church. And we had like a Bible study where we talked about like eat until you're content, not until you're full. Mm-hmm. And I think that kind of goes hand in hand here. Like, you're right. Like, don't indulge on just one person or one thing, but just enough to fulfill you and make you happy. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like my response and take on that.
Yeah, and I think we were talking off camera, and we both acknowledged, like, we were trying to like plan a day to hang out because we need each other as well. But we were like, like I was telling her, like, but not Saturday. I need to see Anthony Saturday. Mm-hmm. Like, I need my dose of Anthony. And she's like, no, I get it. Like, I need my dose of Angel. And so it's like super important. And we've acknowledged what we need from our boyfriends. Like, we don't see them. I don't see them every day. But we acknowledge, like, we do need to see them. Like, we're not okay with not seeing them for a whole week. Mm-hmm. And that's too long for me. I've done that before just because busy, and I didn't have a good week. I told his mom, and she's like, oh, like, he really does. And I feel like your boyfriend does this, or fiance does the same for you, of like energizing you. And like, I feel like after I see Anthony, I'm like, oh, I'm ready for the week, type of thing. Mm-hmm. But I was going to say about the 16 personalities. It shows, we'll do this for the next episode. We'll do 16 personalities. What is your personality? And we'll put the link and stuff like that. But it shows like what level of, it has introvert over here, extrovert over here, and it shows where you are. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's like right in the middle. Maybe it's like closer to that and you didn't know. Mine is more so way past the middle of like extroverted. Not all the way at the top though, but like more close to the top, but not quite the top type of thing. So we'll be able to see, like, even like, are you more judgy? Are you more like, it goes over everything. So it'll be nice to like go over everything and see, even like, if you're judgy, is that a negative though? Like, loving every part of you and acknowledging it. But yeah, I wanted to say, just in case any of you have already done 16 personalities, my personality is, and they give you a title for the name. Mine is the protagonist, the main character. I'm like, I was like, of course. But I took this test a year ago when I was in the master's program because Anthony had resent me this test. I think Kimberly was the one who sent me this test at work when we were working together. She's like, hey, take this test. And then I took it and I was the protagonist. And then Anthony sent it to me literally a few weeks ago during like Oogie Boogie time period when I had went, and he was like, take this test. And I was like, oh, I've taken this. I was like, oh, but I think it's going to be different. That's what I thought, like how you said.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was exactly the same.
Really?
When I was answering the questions, because you have to answer questions truthfully, I was like, no, I've changed a lot since the master's program. I feel like I'm going to be something different. And it was the same thing. So your core root might be the same. You'll see when you take the test.
That'll be really interesting. Yeah. I think it would be a fun episode to share and like deep dive
into
it. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I've changed. And I think one of the things I was telling Marilyn today was like, this month has been busy and I have overbooked. But I will say, like, this year I've tried to just not overbook myself. Yeah.
That was you really, trying.
Yeah. Like I've tried to just do like one thing or two things.
You would do things like during the week, I remember. Like, because I would see you back then when I was in school. I would see you during the week and stuff like that. Like, you would book yourself like every day.
Yeah. And there's been days where like yesterday, like I worked out in the morning. I got home. I got ready, body showered, went to work, and then I went to go cycle. And like, yes, that is still overbooking myself, a lot, but it's like stuff, like it's me time. Like I didn't do it with anyone. Like it was just me. I was able to go home. I was able to have dinner with my family. I showered and I don't even think I talked to Angel. Yeah, I like knocked out, and I just
that was like
not a normal me thing to do. Like still overbooked myself, but it was still self-care. It was still me like working out by myself and like my work and like so I do feel like I've changed. I feel like normal Jasmine would have been like, but I need someone to come with me, or I'll still book a dinner right after or something. So,
no, you're trying. But you really are. You're still booked.
Yes.
And busy, but you're trying. And that's all that matters.
But that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited to do it.
It would be a fun episode.
Yeah, so 16 personalities if you want to look it up. But the next episode, we will post the link. But I'm really excited for the next episode because I think it'll be interesting, like you said, to deep dive and really also, I hope you listen to the episode maybe on your TV and maybe take the test while listening to us talk. That's what I would do if I were listening to the podcast, of just trying to see like where you are. Maybe you're like Jazmine, or you're like me, or maybe you're a whole different category. But if you have already taken the test, please comment down below which one you got. But yeah, it is really interesting because it breaks down like how your strengths and weaknesses in friendships, in relationships, as a person. And like me and Anthony, since we're a couple, we analyzed our strengths and weaknesses as individuals in relationships. And we were like, wow, like I agree with like, that is a problem you have, or like that's a problem I have, you know?
Yeah.
And so it is super interesting, but called 16 personalities.
I think also it would be fun is if you haven't taken it already,
right?
Make sure you take it before next week.
You could take it before so you're ready for the convo.
Yeah, and that way when we release the next episode, as you hear us kind of deep dive and you hear these terms and like categories like you're saying, you'll be familiar too, so that you can start thinking and comparing to with us.
And it even shows like different people, like famous people who have your same personality. Oh, like wow. I think mine is like Barack Obama, Oprah. Like all my people are leaders. I'm like, that makes sense because I love public speaking. I love, like, it really just puts together and it puts a perspective of like what field you should be working in if you're thinking about it, what kind of person you are, who you are, just by answering simple questions honestly.
Yeah.
But so it's super interesting because like comparing Anthony's to mine, his went with his, like even mine, like mine went with teaching and guiding people. Not guiding people, but kind of like leading people, right? And Anthony's, I forgot what his was called, but his totally went with his position. His totally went with his personality as a college counselor, and his was defender. So he's an introvert and he's feeling, observant, and judging. So there was like different ones, but it was just so interesting of like seeing his strengths and weaknesses and how that shows even in his workplace. And so I love it. I'm excited for the episode. But so nourishing your body with what you need. If you're an extrovert and you need to be around your family or need to be around your friends, loved ones, or whatever, what have you not, then nourish your body. See those people, book that friendship dinner date, you know, and just nourish your body with what you need. Like if you need self-care because you're the type of person to book yourself solid and you're like, I actually ran out of all possible social battery and all I need right now is me and that's it. Yeah. I don't need to show up for anybody but me.
Yes.
Then that's like you honoring what your body needs. It's like kind of like when you're dehydrated and your body needs water. It's the same thing for our emotions. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I think really nice message to reflect on. As we do here at Wish You Love podcast. Of
course, always.
But yeah, really good. And I'm excited to take the personality test and kind of revisit this again next week then. And see like, okay, now what do I need? And like, what are my results?
Exactly. I love it.
Love it. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's episode. We hope you guys enjoyed it. We hope you guys have a good and safe Halloween. Yes. If you're going trick-or-treating or not sure if you guys are going to celebrate this upcoming weekend. I know I celebrated last weekend, but whatever the case is, stay safe, stay spooky, have fun, and above all else,
we wish you love. Bye, friends.